Aye, it was better once. The fish were always there, year upon year. Long ago, we could all get a living from the fish. They say once there was so much salmon that the servants in the big houses would go a-grumbling that they had to eat too much of it. We liked it too, but it's rare that we can eat it now. Too valuable, you ken.
Oh! Look lively, lads! Look lively, there's a great big shoal of fish coming up the river, like! We've been fair set this year, mind. Aye, great big catches. More than I've ever seen afore. Now, we did alright in the war again Boney, mind. Aye, everyone wanted more fish then. But we thought, well, what when this is our, eh? What then? But we're doing alright.
Indeed, this is a record year. Seems you and your fellows have extracted 300,000 of the best salmon from the river this year.
Mind, I knew it was some like. And the price is keeping up and all.
Yes, perhaps a little too much, but it's good to see you fisher folk usefully employed. There are altogether too many disaffected soldiers after the war doing nothing useful.
Aye, apart from them that's poaching more fish, sir.
Yes, I did notice an innumerable number of nets up the rivers of all types.
Aye, some should not be there, sir.
Well, perhaps. But there seems enough fish for all. Well, good day to you, James.
Aye, and goodbye to you too, sir.
Once, before I was born, they say we used to get on well with the rich folks. It was a small place then and everyone worked together. The rich folks knew best. They gave the orders, we did the work, but we was happy doing it. We're not so happy now. It's the fish. Each year there's been less and less. I didn't ken the numbers, but everyone knows it. The price goes up and the rich folks don't like it. And they don't much care for all our nets now either. Especially not those anglers.
I do declare there are no fish in this river. Either that or this rod, which I was persuaded to buy by the conniving trader, has some flaw which is frightening away the fish. Really, this holiday is turning into a disaster.
And how are the fish biting today, sir?
Not as well as I would like, as I think you know only too well. I was assured by the artful trader that sold me this rod that the problem of poaching on the river had been solved by the new Tweed Acts. Are there no river bailiffs on this river?
Aye, there are, sir. But they didn't know one net from another. And the poachers know that. And we still have our traditional fishing rights.
Well, I think it's a thoroughly bad show.
Once, they say, the anglers weren't so bad. They'd get on well enough with us fisher folk. There's many a tale told of an angler going out all day just to catch nothing and then buying a nice salmon off a fisherman to say he caught it himself. Aye, the anglers we could deal with right enough. If it were left to us, it would have been fine. But it wasn't left to us. The rich folks and the lords in London got involved in.
Are you not aware of the provisions of the Tweed Fisheries Act 1857 and of the Tweed Amendment Act of 1859?
There's not a fisherman in Berwick that's not aware of them damned acts. They ruined our lives.
Moderate your language or a lady's prison. If you are aware of the acts, then you will all be aware of the regulations relating to net types, sizes and the areas where you may not fish.
They're ruining our lives. They've taken away all our traditional fishing rights, and all for the sake of the anglers.
That is nonsense. The anglers have nothing whatever to do with the case. It is a scientific fact there has been a disastrous decline in fish stocks in this river, and unrestricted net fishing is to blame.
The rich folks said we should all behave ourselves and be quiet. But how could we? The fisher folk hated the Tweed Acts, and with the Acts came the bailiffs. Not the old types that my grandparents knew, men from the town who'd look the other way if they knew the fish was caught for a poor family, or that they could call and get a nice tot and a bite to eat by a good fire if they dropped by. Nay, these were new hard men from the slums of Newcastle, drunken, violent men who cared nothing for us folk. They'd jostle a man half to death if they fell in with him in the street. I've known strong men start mad of fear of the river bailiffs. And they'd nae care for the women folk either. They were bad days. It got so bad they'd hunt for nets all over the town. They'd break doors down and turn the houses upside down, looking for nets and fish. Mind you, many a woman hid a fish or two beneath her skirts. Not that that did any good. Sometimes they'd look there as well. They found that funny. It was horrible for good honest folks.
The Tweed Acts are a rich man's law. A man accused under the Acts has no chance. An angel for heaven itself could not save a man for the Acts.
Mind you, the bailiffs were few. There was a lot of us fisher folk. They couldn't be everywhere at once. My mum used to cut out my dad in one of her dresses so he could go in disguise to the fishing, where there'd be whole boats full of ladies that were all men. But the bailiffs got wise to this, which was bad for the women who were just so bad. There were many fights. The fisher folk would throw stones and the bailiffs would use clubs, hitting anybody and everybody, whether they were involved or not. And then the government sent the Royal Navy in to deal with us folk.
Oh! I've been shot in the leg! Oh.
After a thorough investigation, we do find that the shooting incident of December 1872 was unfortunate. But we also find that the sailors involved opened fire because they really believed the lives of the river bailiffs were in great immediate danger. We should also add that the bailiffs were in pursuit of their lawful duties, the suppression of illegal net fishing.
We get so little justice. No one will listen to us.
And though they set the bailiffs on to us and the Navy, every year the fish was less and less. And it wasn't us that was killing them, it was the factories and all the muck they put in the river. Well, I like tweed cloth as well as any, it's all fine and dandy, but how they make it is a dirty business. Fine big factories up there in Hoyk and Kelsey, with lots of work for folk to do and lots of coins for the rich folk, but they don't keep their muck, they throw it all in the river, and down it comes all to us and there's all the dead fish. And the fish that don't die get sick, and the folk that eats the fish get sick too. Like my baby brother, who nearly died of sick fish, and the government men come and go and do nothing.
There is no doubt in the minds of Your Majesty's Commissioners that pollution of the Tweed from the 93 factories that abut its banks has been a significant factor in the decline in fish stocks in recent years, a situation which the Tweed Acts have been useless to combat. Until there is effective legislation compelling the factory owners to restrict their discharges into the river, all we can suggest at the present time is a zealous application of the Tweed Acts in the suppression of illegal net fishing.
Oh, where's an end to it?
An end to the pollution had to wait until a decline in the border textile industries in the 1950s. The worst aspects of the Tweed Acts were finally repealed in 1951. Salmon fishing continues to be profitable.
At last, a great big fish!
Salmon fishing continues to be profitable. For the owners of the fishing rights further up the river, mind. The last official net season in Berwick was in 1987.
Aye, it was better once.